guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel for another video. So today I'm going to be doing part 2 of my May 2024 garden tour. Today we are going to be filming my backyard. Starting off over here in my backyard bay window garden. Do y'all see how full and lush this bed is looking? This one started off looking really rough. I'll insert a clip of the disaster that it started out at the beginning of the season. And now it is starting to come into its own, and I am loving it. So really quickly, I'm going to run through the plants, starting over here on my left corner. In this pot here, I have planted my limelight hydrangea on standard. And you guys did see earlier this season when I gave it a prune job, it was damaged last year in the tornado that we received. So it's so misshapen. I literally had to cut off all of the tree. Like, this used to be a perfect lollipop shape. Like, all of this was filled out. Had to cut off all the branches that were dead on this side. I'm just letting it do its thing, letting it grow, and I will reshape it later next year. So that is doing great. Down in front of it, I have a grapette daylily doing well. I have a ton of weeds in this bed that I still need to pull, but over here, I'm still trying to reconfigure, so ignore all the mess. Over here, I have a rainbow rhythm daylily doing amazing. Like, look how big this is just one daylily, you guys. It's been in the ground, I want to say this is its 5th season, starting to set its buds. So cannot wait to give you guys a bloom tour. And then behind it, I have another grapette daylily that I transplanted earlier this spring, doing amazing. Behind it, I have a Highlander holly capping off my hedge of hollies over here. So these are all soft touch compact hollies, doing amazing. I wanted something really low so that they would not block my view from my window. This is my bedroom. Look out this window every single morning, and I didn't want anything obstructing it. And they are doing amazing, you guys. They also look really cute in the wintertime with snow on them. Really cute. Back here in the corner, I have an Asiatic lily doing amazing. Look at the color on these, y'all. So gorgeous. I just love orange in the garden. And then down here, I have some blue eyes grasses. I did originally have a swoop of 4. I've lost 2, and I still have these 2. And these are really cute, you guys. They actually open and close with the daylight. So in the morning time and the evening, they're closed up. And then right now, it's about 5 in the afternoon. They are nice and open. And I'm hoping that I can divide these eventually to finish my swoop. Y'all, I have had an issue with some type of critter in this bed. If you guys can see here, it's kind of like a dip. This was a hole. So I came out and I've put down bait for voles and moles and gophers, and haven't seen any other holes forming in this bed. But I had the damage over here and also in my shade garden. So the bait has been working so far. Let me step back. So the center focal point of this bed is my Bobo hydrangea. It's doing amazing. I did move my bird bath here earlier this season. It definitely needs to be cleaned out. It's looking disgusting. But yesterday I came out here and finally popped in the ground some irises that have been sitting in their cans on my patio, I want to say for 3 years now, y'all. Like, they were really looking rough. So they've just been in the ground, not even a day, y'all. So I think they'll be a pretty swoop just flanking the bird bath here. They bloom a pretty deep blue purple bloom, so excited to see those next year. I do have another pink blooming Asiatic lily here, which I think I'm going to relocate. Have another pink blooming one over here. It's the clump, and then another orange one here. Like, look at these, y'all. Do have some ants on them, but not going to worry about it. They're just here for their little nectar. But loving all of the pops of color that are coming in this bed. So for my swoop, I do have on the back drift here a group of Millennium Garlic, which will bloom purple. And then in the center here, I have my White Wands Veronica doing great. Like, look at the blooms on these, you guys. By the way, everything that you see in this bed, I purchased on clearance. And most of them are on their 3rd or more season, except for these front border here. So these I just planted this season. These are a grouping of Calibrachoa called Tropical Sunrise. And then down in front, I have my Supertunia Vista Latte. And y'all, these have been getting so much rain. Like, these do not like a lot of water. They don't like to stay wet, but we've had so much rain that they are struggling a little bit. But we do have drier days coming in the forecast, so I think they'll do fine. Back here in the corner, I do have a blue chiffon rose of Sharon. You guys did see a few videos back. This was completely infested with aphids. I did release some ladybugs, and y'all, I am so happy to report that this thing is completely aphid free. When I tell y'all the ladybugs understood their assignment and came in and did what they were supposed to do in a day, the next day, the aphids were gone. Ladybugs were gone as well, but they did their job, so I'm not mad about it. I did get them on Amazon. Got a lot of questions on where I got them from. I did mention it in the video. Unfortunately, the vendor that I purchased them from is completely sold out, and they don't know when they're getting more in. So I do not have a link, unfortunately, but you guys check your garden centers. They should have some live ladybugs. Behind it, I do have a Emerald Colonnade holly that is starting to put on a lot of new growth, so I'll probably give it another haircut soon. And then over here, I have a trio of Stella d'Oro daylilies doing amazing. Love the blooms on these, and these just continually bloom throughout the entire season. Surrounding my fluffy gold arborvitae, which is doing great. And then last but not least in this bed, do y'all remember how bald this topiary was when I gave it a haircut? I have been treating it with Super Thrive, also got it hooked up on drip, and it is just flushing out amazing, you guys. It does need a haircut and some shaping, but I am just trying to let it grow for now. So we'll do some shaping on it probably in a couple more weeks, but I'm so glad I did not lose this topiary. It looks so good. Moving on to what used to be Rehab Row, I did make this a formal planting bed. I have finally decided on a new name for this bed, but I'm not going to release that until I'm done planting this bed up. But I'm so excited how everything is starting to fill in. Over here in the back corner in my pot, y'all, oh my gosh, y'all, I forgot to come back and clip off old blooms from last year. I was supposed to do that after my last video. Clearly forgot, so I'm gonna have to come in here and do this. But this is a Pinky Winky hydrangea I have on standard. Need to come in and give it a new stake. This is the original stake it came with, so definitely need to come in and clip that off because the bark is starting to grow into the wires. So tip for you guys, when you buy a plant and it comes with a stake, always restake it. Anywho, down here in this planter here, I have a collection of calibrachoas. These all came back from last year, you guys. I didn't plant any of these, so money saver here. They're doing great. I did run this pot on drip, so it's doing proper watering. On my back row here, I have a hedge of homestrup arborvitaes, which are putting on so much size. I'm loving how lush and green this backdrop is looking. I cannot wait to see them fill in, but they're all doing amazing. They are on drip. Over here is my last clump of agapanthus that I had divided, and oh, you guys, I'm getting another bud. That's exciting. So when I planted this, I originally only had 3 buds, but I have a 4th one coming. But I just love this firework display. Like, I just think they're so fun. Loving this one. I think this one is called Midnight Twilight. Don't quote me on that. I will insert the name if I can find it for you guys. Down in front of it on my swoop, I just planted all of the leftover begonias I had from my front garden bed. I think they'll do great. I'm trying to keep this bed really, really simple until I know exactly where I want everything to go. So over here, I have my first arrival peony. It has already finished its bloom cycle. It blooms gorgeous, huge pink flowers in the springtime. So for the remainder of the season, I will just enjoy its nice green, lush foliage. Beside it, y'all, I tried, you guys. I feel like I have gave this 1 year of a good effort, and y'all, I'm sticking to my guts. I have told y'all several times, if you've been following me over the years, that I do not like roses at all. This is why. I just can't. I cannot with this foliage. The blooms were gorgeous, so I will insert a clip of what the blooms look like. We've gotten so much rain recently that all the blooms have been knocked off. The blooms are phenomenal, you guys, but I just cannot with this raggedy bush for the rest of the season. Like, it's going to come out. Decision made. Anybody want a rose tree? Leave me a comment down below. This one right here is another peony that I transplanted from my backyard garden. It did get trampled just a little bit when I was transplanting it, but it's rebounding okay. Peonies do not like to be transplanted, you guys, but I've been babying it. We've also been getting a ton of rain, so it is doing amazing. I did transplant one of my deciduous azaleas. So this one on the end here used to sit over there. Just moved it over to kind of like respace everything. I have a vision in mind, which I cannot wait to tell you guys what it is. I just need to finish planting first. But these do bloom gorgeous big balls of orange in the springtime. In the remainder of the year, I just have this gorgeous foliage to look at. Down here, I have a drift of poppies, which just came out of bloom, you guys. They are so striking. It's setting a whole bunch of new buds, so hopefully they'll be in bloom for my June tour. And then this little thing back here is called an Astromeria, I believe. I had 3 originally. This is the only one that survived. They were labeled perennials. Oh, look, you guys. Another little praying mantis baby. Do y'all see them right there? They're all over the garden. I'm loving it. But anywho, this one was labeled as a perennial for my area, but this is the only one that came back. So I'm just letting it do its thing, and if it blooms, it blooms. If not, it will be coming out. Moving right along, this is a new addition that I just got planted 2 weeks ago. This is a red bud tree. It's called Rise and Shine, and y'all, I am just loving this lime green pop of color right here. I cannot wait to see this one fill out. So I want it to fill out this entire area. This one does get about 10 to 15 feet tall and wide, and it'll create a nice shade area that can come in and underplant once it grows up. But y'all, I am so in love with this. I did pick this up from my local farmers market when they were running their Mother's Day sale. All of their trees were half off, so could not pass up that deal, and it is just loving its life in this space. Like, what, y'all? I cannot believe this is in my garden right now. I'm so excited about it. So here's a view from this corner. I just love it so much. Alrighty, and then last but not least, over here on the end swoop, I do have a pink blooming hibiscus here. This one is a pink chiffon rose of Sharon. This one was also attacked by aphids. I did release ladybugs. It is aphid free, doing great. Cannot wait to see it come into bloom. I have another agapanthus planted here. Ooh, y'all, I think this one actually might be Midnight Twilight. I can't remember. I will insert the names on the screen for you guys. And then down here on either side, I have 2 perennials. These are called Peaches Peak Stoke Asters. I did originally have 3. Unfortunately, I lost the one in the middle, but the other 2 bloom gorgeous purple blooms later in the season. So I'll definitely give you guys updates on that. So over here in this area, this is the area that I have not developed yet. This was all woods that I cut down, had some fill dirt and wood chips brought in. This is a oak leaf hydrangea. No, what am I saying? This is an Oakland holly. It's been struggling ever since I planted, you guys, so it may be coming out eventually. But this is the area that I had the voles in, and I just came in here, put some bait in every little hole that I could find, and then sprinkled around the entire area. Not seeing any new holes. They were starting to move into this bed, so I'm not sure if that's what's happening with this tree, if they're eating the roots, but it's been struggling ever since I bought it, and I did get it on clearance. But I'm trying to see if I can, here we go. Do y'all see this? If y'all see these in your yard, you have a vole issue. So I definitely will be coming back in and putting some more bait in these holes. It used to be woods, you guys. I had all of the trees cut down, brought in some fill dirt, and wood chips are over in this area. So that's what they're actually feeding on, is that bark. They love bark, and they will also eat the roots of your plants. I think that's what's happening with my Oakland holly over here. It's packed, y'all. Like, literally, there's like over 100 holes in this area. So me and my boyfriend came out with the bucket, sprinkled bait in every single hole, and y'all, I don't know. I'm just trying to stay on top of it. I haven't noticed any new holes yet. So I will do another treatment probably in a couple of weeks, but I basically was out here watering and I heard some rustling over here, and I turned the water off so it was dead silent. Looked to my left and I just kept seeing them poke their little heads out of their holes over here. And I was just like, oh, no. We need some bait. So the bait's been working amazing. And then swinging over here, this used to be my dumping ground. So ignore all of the weeds and the craziness of this bed. This was going to be a formal bed, but then I decided just to make it grass. So I will be seeding this once I clear it out. I do have one little hibiscus here that's starting to come back. This one is a large dinner plate pink bloom. Cannot wait to see that. I will be transplanting that probably to the bed over here. And then I have 2 Limelight Prime hydrangeas that need to find a new home. This right here is what used to be my pride and joy. I have a new pride and joy of the garden, but this is my chase tree, you guys. This puts on a gorgeous show of purple blooms. Love the shape of this tree. I know it looks crazy, but this is what I wanted for this area. So I have a whole vision. It will come together eventually. And then in these 2 pots, I have some hibiscus as well that are waiting to get in some homes. So that is it for the little corner over on this side. All right, so I'm going to try to run through this back corner pretty quickly because I've done a lot of videos over here. This right here is my new arbor that I just installed for Arbor Day. It's doing amazing, you guys. I have decided that I'm not going to be planting anything around it. I'm just loving its gorgeous structure. We'll come in and do some pretty little string lights. On either side, I have planted 2 willow trees. These are flamingo willows, which will beef up and do amazing. Down in front of it, I have planted 2 Invincible blush hydrangeas, which I cannot wait to see them grow. They grow about 3 by 4, and ooh, this one's actually already setting some buds, so excited about those. I do have a hedge of sprinter boxwoods lining my walkway here. Moving on to my back corner area, and y'all, this is starting to become my favorite area of the garden. Y'all did see I just did a whole makeover extension in this area, and I am so loving how it's coming along. So starting off on the left corner here, flanking my gate, I have a DeGroots arborvitae. Inside my wall area, I have 5 emerald green arborvitaes that I got all on clearance. They're all doing amazing, putting on new growth and some size. I'm hoping these 2 will catch up with their height, but it doesn't really bother me too much. It does bother me when I'm trying to take a picture, but other than that, they're doing great. Down in front of my wall, I have 3 variegated hydrangeas, and I got so many questions on my last video of what the name of this hydrangea is. Y'all, I got these from the farmer's market, and if you have shopped a farmer's market before, y'all know it's very rarely labeled correctly. So these did not come labeled other than variegated hydrangea. But I did some research. I did see that there is a first editions variety called Light o' Day. So if you guys are interested, look that up. But oh my gosh, you guys, I am in love with these hydrangeas. Like, first of all, the foliage in itself is variegated and it's so pretty. Kind of reminds me of a hosta. So gorgeous. And then the blooms, y'all know I've been on a whole disc blooming hydrangea kick, and the blooms just speak for themselves, y'all. They fit this hydrangea perfectly. So these do get about 6 by 6. So eventually these will almost end up touching, which is what I want. I was planning to build up my wall, which I think I'm still going to do that, but eventually y'all probably won't even be able to see the wall once these hydrangeas fill in. So fingers crossed they do well. I am so in love with them, y'all. So down in front, I did leave this area bare, so that's why you can see some dirt. I do have some plans to put some plants here, which I am just waiting to get my hands on. So I will give you guys updates once that happens. In front of them, I have a drift of clearance heuchera that I picked up. These are all Dolce Wildberry, and y'all, they have just been loving their life. We've been getting so much rain that it's helped make their transition into the garden so much better. I did also relocate 3 of my Celines. So these 3 used to be planted over here. Just move them over so that I can have a clear walkway to my path. I may bump this one over just a smidge. I don't know. By the time it grows out, you won't be able to tell, but just right now, it's a little bit off, but it's okay. My bench is from the farmer's market. I do get a lot of questions of where I purchased that from. Y'all, I do a lot of shopping at the farmer's market. I know. Down in front of it, I do have a grouping of 3 Rockin' Plain the Blues salvia that I also got from the farmer's market. Those are just waiting to get in the ground. I did pot up my planters with some gorgeous shade plants. So this in the back is one of the clearance hydrangeas that I purchased from Lowe's for $7 earlier this season. I do have 2 Wallerianas tucked in here that I got for $1 a piece. And then in front, this is a Calibrachoa called Great Punch. And you guys can see it's a gorgeous deep purple with a yellow throat. These I may relocate because these do require sun to do well. And this pretty much stays in shade most of the day. Mirrored the same exact thing on this side in this planter. So I'm just loving the blue pot, y'all. Like the pillows that I got to go on my bench, which I probably can pull out now because I think the pollen is done, they pull out that blue. So it's going to be so gorgeous. I think I'm going to try and wait until the, oh wait, cloud is moving just in time. Perfect timing. Thank you so much. Y'all see that? We have a nice cloud cover so it won't like wash out my colors over here. So I have a Gyarkuro tucked in the corner back there, along with 5 more emerald green arborvitaes. In the center here, this is my Inaba Shidar Japanese maple. Transplanted this earlier this spring, and it has been loving its life back here, you guys. It looks so good. I did decide to come in and complete the ring underneath the maples. So I did originally transplant 2 of my autumn frost hostas from my front garden to this back area. My friend Rosa found 4 more on clearance for $2.50 from Lowe's, or were they $4.50? I think they were $4.50. Anywho, finished the ring around the backside, so I cannot wait to see those like grow up and just complete the ring. I do have 2 first of class hostas planted in between as well. Loving the color on those. Those are a pretty teal blue with the lime green center. Have some more Celines over here, which are pretty much done blooming. This right here is a pufferfish hydrangea, which I cannot wait to see this one bloom, y'all. The blooms on these are panicle, but they have a little tuft at the end of them, so it's so cute. I do have 2 lemon lace elderberries that are doing great. These normally start to defoliate later in the season, so I just enjoy their pop of color while they're looking good. Down here, I have a trio of 3 peach berry ice heucheras that I picked up from Lowe's, and y'all, the color on these is just phenomenal. And they do also develop some veining, which you usually can see on the older leaves, but the undersides are a pretty pink color. Loving the pop of color that I have here. Down here, I have 4 clearance plants that I got. These were $2.50. So the other ones were $4.50, but these are all salvia waiting to get in the ground. I have a mugo pine topiary tucked in the back, another Gyarkuro, and then these are 2 what's the name of these? I think these are tater tot arborvitaes. I transplanted these from my front garden bed, just planted them here to line my walkway, which is still in the works. You guys stay tuned for the updates. And then last but not least, over here on the curve, you guys, I have just finally started to sheet mulch and shape this new bed. I did transplant 2 of my salvia over here that were not getting enough light. They're doing great. I do have some fire cheese arborvitaes planted in a little arc surrounding my Tetragona aurea cameus cypress, which I also transplanted earlier this spring. Starting to color up the way that it should. Like, look at the tips, y'all. It's doing so well. I am loving it. Over here, I just transplanted my camellia, which is not going to stay here. This is a sensation camellia. It was getting too much sun in the other bed. Just planted it here so it can survive until I figure out where it's going to go permanently. Behind it, I have an amber gold arborvitae doing great. And then I have 3 buckthorns doing amazing, you guys. I have transplanted them, wanted them to line my post, so I'm liking their placement so much better. And then last but not least, you guys, I have my Pride and Joy Rising Sun Redbud. It's looking a little bit wilted, y'all. I am so worried about this tree. I really hope it does not get that VSD dieback. I'm keeping an eye on it, but it's wilted because we just planted it last night. So it's only been in the ground for a few hours, but it is so gorgeous, y'all. I'm so excited about having this tree here. This one also gets about 10 to 15 feet tall and wide. So this will be the focal point of this bed, and I think it'll eventually cast a nice amount of shade in this area. So that is pretty much it. Oh, one more plant. And then here in the center of my corner area here, I have my flowering plum tree that I planted for Arbor Day last year. The color on this, y'all, is just so pretty. Let me give you a close-up. So the leaves have this gorgeous dark plum color, and then the undersides have this gorgeous red tint to them. I'm just so obsessed with the color on this, you guys. It's been putting on so much no growth this year. So I do eventually have plans to come in and create a whole like bed under this tree, but that is future planning. So I'm going to step back and give you guys an overview, because in my last tour, I did get several requests to see a span of the whole area. So I am almost to my patio. So here's what it looks like. Again, ignore all of the mess over here. And then here is my old Rehab row side. And then lastly, up here on my patio, I do have 2 little plants planted in pots. This is my peach tree, and y'all see it's starting to put out some peaches. I'm so excited. So it looks like I need to come in and thin out some of the branches, but that normally happens naturally for me. But I just have it planted in this pot for now. I have not decided where it's going to go permanently. Beside it, this is my other Rising Sun Redbud. And y'all, I bought this one bare root back in January. It came completely just a bare twig. Like, it's still not putting any leaves on the branching, but it's also putting out a bunch of suckers down here at the base. But some of this foliage, like, I don't know, y'all. I think I need to treat it with some iron. It's looking a little iron deficient with the chlorosis going on, but I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that this one does well and will kick off for me. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much going to conclude my backyard garden tour for May. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of the changes, all of the new blooms. Hope you found some inspiration. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.